In another video, we talked about how to use the present perfect tense. In this video, we're going to talk about the mechanics, how to form the present perfect tense. Now, this pot is in the collection of the Art Institute of Chicago, and if you pause on the next slide, you'll be able to get all the information about the people who made this as much as 1,000 years ago. The present perfect tense is formed by conjugating the verb to have in the simple present tense and using the past participle of the base verb. To use our usual format, we start with the subject. We use either have or has, depending on the subject, add the past participle, and then whatever we need to find complete meaning in our sentence. Bad news. There are 3 types of verbs when it comes to past participles. There are regular verbs, the ones we like the best. There are irregular verbs, and then there's a third set of more irregular verbs. Let me give you some examples. Regular verbs have the same form for the past tense and for the past participle. So walk becomes walked and walked, cook, cooked and cooked, brush, brushed and brushed. For irregular verbs, the past tense doesn't follow the usual format of adding ed. Instead, there's a different form, a completely different word for the past tense. However, with these irregular verbs, the past participle is the same as the past tense. Buy becomes bought and bought, sit becomes sat and sat, bring becomes brought and brought. You can probably guess what's going to happen with the more irregular verbs. They don't follow that pattern. Instead, sometimes, as in run, it becomes run, past tense ran, past participle run. Take becomes took, and the past participle is taken. Fly becomes flew, and then flown. Let's look at some examples of all 3 types. I'm going to contrast the simple present, the simple past, and the present perfect. Today I talked to my friends. Yesterday I talked to my friends. We have talked for an hour already. This is an example of regular verbs. Today I buy chocolate. Yesterday I bought chocolate. I have bought chocolate every day. This is an example of irregular verbs where the past participle is the same as the past tense verb. But look at this one. I take my vitamins every day. Yesterday I took my vitamins. I have taken them for years. Notice all 3 forms are different. Now let's talk about the sentence format. And again, I like to compare the simple present, the simple past, and the present perfect. I don't want you to forget the tenses we've already learned. You'll notice that the simple present and the simple past have the same format for affirmative sentences. Subject plus verb plus complete meaning. The present perfect is very similar. We just add have or has plus the past participle. So we have subject plus have or has plus past participle plus the complete meaning. All of the sentences I've given you so far have been in the format of affirmative sentences. Let's look at the format for negative sentences. Again, the simple present and the simple past mirror each other. We have subject plus do or does plus not plus base verb plus complete meaning for the simple present. The simple past, we just change do or does to did. Everything else is the same. Now, with the present perfect, we have the subject plus have or has plus not plus the past participle. Let's look at some examples. I'm going to start here with negative sentences using regular verbs. Simple present, I don't walk to school. Past, I didn't walk to school when I was young. Present perfect, I haven't walked to school in years. Next, we're going to look at the format for yes and no questions. Again, the simple present and simple past have the same basic format. Simple present, we use do or does. Simple past, we use did, plus the subject, plus the base verb, plus the complete meaning. And don't forget your question mark. The simple present begins with the word have or has, plus the subject, plus the past participle. Again, let's look at examples. This time we're going to look at an irregular verb, sit. Does John sit here? Did John sit there? Has John ever sat there? Last of all, we're going to look at the format for WH questions. And again, simple present and simple past are the same with the exception of using do or does for the present and did for the past. For the present perfect, we use the WH word plus have or has plus the subject plus the past participle plus the complete meaning. The next set of examples are going to use one of the more irregular verbs. When do birds fly south? When did the birds fly south this year? When have they flown south in the past? Now, as with all verbs, the most common verbs are often the most irregular. This will make learning them easier. That seems counterintuitive, but since you'll be using them more often, you'll get more practice and you'll begin to memorize them more quickly. Thank you so much for listening.